I should be live. I'm just double checking, making sure. Always gotta make sure. You can't leave anything to chance. And I have not left anything to chance. I always dot my I's and cross my T's. So I am indeed quite live at the moment. So I'm just going to copy over this link to a pre-typed tweet so that everybody can know. Oh my goodness. I'm getting the hang of it. It's a bit of a slow process. But we get there. We fight on. So, how is everybody doing today? Man, it has been quite a time, hasn't it? Whole lot of projects. I mean, I can't go a day without seeing like a new project, it seems. There is a lot of stuff going on. A lot of people making a lot of good looking books. I've got my competition cut out for me. That is for sure. For sure. But yeah, the first thing I want to talk about is this cute little bunny over here. I'm sure pretty much anybody who's been around Twitter and the indie comic scene on Twitter knows exactly who this little bun is. This adorable, floofy little thing. That's USA GI. He's one of my personal favorites as far as indie comics goes. I guess he's sort of like semi-indie. I don't know. Does Atomic Press count as indie? I guess this is their own label now. They're doing this through Iconic Comics, but I think they still publish them like through the stores and stuff through Antarctic Press. But all their like all their new stuff, like as they go through the Indiegogos and the Kickstarter campaigns, I think they all have that as the Iconic Comics, and then it goes to Antarctic Press. So I think they still got that deal. I'm not 100% sure how they got that worked out, but yeah, man, I want to talk a little bit about Black Hops because I love this book. I love this series. Tim Lim and Mark Pellegrini, or as many people know him as Pellecreepy on Twitter. Man, they knock it out of the park every time with these books. I love them. I adore them. They've got that perfect kind of balance between the sort of mutant superhero kind of aesthetic, just cute, adorable imagery, and that military kind of machismo. I'm not sure. I've heard it pronounced many ways, but that macho-ness. And Volume 3 in particular, which they just had an Indiegogo for, it just closed not too terribly long ago, and so they just sent out the digital copies, which I just read today. There's not a lot of books, there's not a lot of comics that I make sure to read the moment I have it available to me. But everything that comes out of Tim and Mark, I drop everything. As soon as it's available to me, I drop everything and I read that. I read that thing. I absorb it. I swallow it into my being. I inhale its essence. I mean, I've got a backpack over in the corner there full of unread comics from various Indiegogos and Kickstarters that I backed. I'm a busy boy. I have been hard at work recently with Pineapple Pizza Man, as many of you all know, or pretty much anybody that is aware of me probably knows by now. I'm the artist for our Science Wizard Comics upcoming Pineapple Pizza Man. That's this fellow right up here in the meme. I always love this image because it's Pineapple Pizza's coming up next after Wampool. Wampool was our first foray into comics publishing, and we did a successful Indiegogo there. We're in fulfillment now. Fulfillment had to be stalled for a little while, because we'd already run through all of the campaign funds, and it all had to come out of my pocket after that. So it's coming out of my pocket, but it's got to go a little bit slowly because I'm not made of money. I'm a pretty ordinary, average, everyday kind of guy. But yeah, so that was our first foray, and then next up is Pineapple Pizza Man, and that's why I love this, because it's kind of like Wampool's like, ooh, what's this new hotness? There's a lot of lore, that is actually involved in this image above me right here. Actually, we'll get into that eventually. But we got some fun stuff. A little bit of animation too regarding that. That'll come on down the line eventually. Haven't had a whole lot of time to work on it, again, because of my work on Pineapple Pizza Man. I'm really trying to get that book finished before the end of the year. That's my goal, but this is also my first comic, and I am pushing my abilities as hard as I can to make it as good as possible. And with books like Black Ops, there's a lot of pressure to kind of, meet a high standard. And I want to meet that high standard. I really, really do. I want people to love this book. I want them to look at it and be like, wow, this is a sharp-looking book. This is nice. It's visually, appealing, spectacular even, and it's a lot of fun. I want people to enjoy it. So I'm working hard on it. But getting back to Black Ops over here, I keep forgetting that my right is my left and my left is my right. I'll get used to it eventually. This whole streaming thing, it's a process. But Black Ops, man. Fun fact, actually, Black Ops, My Hero, Macadamia, and Wampool actually have more than a little bit of a history, including Kamen America too. Specifically, the very first comic book printed appearance of Wampool is in Black Ops. So there you go. There's a little bit of trivia. I don't know if anybody's found that image yet. I was going through the omnibus earlier today, the digital for the omnibus, trying to find it, and I couldn't remember where it was. Couldn't find it. Couldn't remember if it was in Black Ops issue 1 or Black Ops issue 2, or if I know it was in one of the two. It wasn't in Black Ops Volume 2. But it was definitely one of the first two issues. It was definitely in Volume 1 somewhere. So that's the first printed appearance of Wampool in a comic book. So, fun fact, fun trivia. I'm really trying to make sure that Pineapple Pizza Man's first appearance is in Pineapple Pizza Man, issue 1. Because I know that he's due to show up on the wraparound cover for one of the Punchline comics by Matt Weldon. And because he just was looking for a whole bunch of indie comics characters to draw up in a big crowd scene, and I put Pineapple Pizza Man's name into the hat, and he liked him. He decided to put him on there. So shout out to Matt Weldon, also terrific for artist, terrific guy, very friendly. I like that guy. So Black Ops Volume 3, fantastic, and there's more deep cuts for Volume 3 because I actually provided one of the characters that appears in Black Ops 3. And if anybody else has read Black Ops 3, or even Kamen America Volume 1, you'll have seen this new character. He goes by the name Commando G, and he's a delightful pooch. He is the newest member of the Black Ops team. He shows up at the end of Kamen America when they have their little crossover moment, and that was my little contribution. That was my gift to Tim Lim. He's such a good guy, man. He gave me a character because I was just like, oh my god, I'm doing a thing. Would you like to design a character for this thing I'm doing? And he did, and I one time, while we were bantering on Twitter, and I came up with this idea for Commando G, a dog character. Now he's a little different in the book than how I pitched it to Tim initially, and I got the original pitch right here as well. So here is the official first drawing of Commando G. I think I finished this, or at least progressed it further than where it is now, but I can't remember where exactly that image ended up. So I'll have to track it down eventually and put that up there. But this was what I had given to Tim as my pitch for Commando G. You know, he was a Saint Bernard in my version. So you know, I gave him like the backpack and everything, like you know, Patriotter and USAGI has, and I gave him like this nice big, instead of like that barrel of whiskey around his neck, I gave him a nice big, you know, big grenade, a big boy. I think I call it the good boy. So that was how that came about, and Tim obviously, you know, he asked me if you know, he's like, oh man, we made some changes, hope you don't mind, and I'm just like, no man, I gave the character to you to do with what you want, you know, it's you know, have at it, have fun with it, and I think, you know, they were going for some real world, you know, cross reference with the breed that they decided to go with. I think it was the breed. They made him the same breed, I think, that it was that was the dog that like killed Osama bin Laden or something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's killing me. But here's the good boy as he appears in Black Ops Volume 3. This is one of my favorite moments in the comic, where he first meets the rest of the Black Ops team. He's not super powered like USAGI and Patriotter. He's just a really good boy. He is you know, he's part of like a command of dogs. Like, so they've got Commando A, Commando B, Commando C, D, E, F, and then he is Commando G. He's the goodest of the good boys. The good boy squad. And that was a really fun thing that they did. I really liked what they did with the character. I'm super excited because this is the first character that I've kind of had a part in designing that has made it into a printed comic book. So that brings a lot of joy to my heart. These characters, not just the good boy that I helped produce. These characters, you know, all bring a lot of joy to my heart. Like they're just such fun characters, and even though they're animals and they don't talk, you know, they've still got a lot of personality, which I really like. And in Volume 2, you know, they introduced Patriotter, and he's a little more feral, you know. USAGI, he always grew up in like a loving family. He always had handlers and owners and whatnot that you know, provided that stable, loving, you know, kind of pet family relationship. And so he's a you know, nice guy. He's a good boy. He can be hard when he needs to, you know, when the job needs to be done. And then they find Patriotter in Fukushima after the meltdown that they had there. And so, you know, he's a little more feral, but he's got a lot of the same qualities, that hyper intelligence, the strength and speed that USAGI has with how he came about with his sort of powers, as it were. And then they also have Rigger Tortoise, who he's not the same as Patriotter and USAGI. Rigger Tortoise is sort of like a tortoise that they've sort of experimented on and outfitted with all sorts of, you know, experimental weapons technology. So he's essentially sort of like this little animal tank. And he kind of just trots along in the second one. Oh my god, that was my favorite part in the second one, is you've got all this, you know, awesome action going out with these cute furry little animals, with you know, Patriotter and USAGI, and they don't really like each other all that much, but they're reluctantly working together. And you get a lot of that personality, you know, with no dialogue between them, just these little sort of pictograms, essentially. And I love this one. This is my favorite one, because Good Boy comes in, he immediately meets USAGI, and he's just like, BFFs, best friends forever. And he's just like, best friends forever. Yeah, it reminds me of the scene from Step Brothers with Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly, where they just start riffing on each other, and they're just like, what's your favorite dinosaur? Velociraptor. You know, and they're just like, did we just become best friends? Yup! I've always loved that. And this reminded me a lot of that. And it's just adorable. And then he tries to do the same thing with Patriotter. So Good Boy here, Commando G, he wants to be best friends with everybody, but Patriotter's just like a salty little turd. He's just like, no, get away from me! Ah! So that's I love it. I love it. Brings a tear to my eye. It's so adorable. But Patriotter's also kind of formed a bond of his own with the tortoise, Rigger Tortoise, and they've sort of become this kind of tag team duo. And the tortoise, he's always just got the only thing you ever hear from him is this little nyeh. He just goes nyeh. But sorry, I forgot. But my favorite part from Volume 2 was you got all this bombastic action going on with USAGI and Patriotter. And then every once in a while, it just cuts to Rigger Tortoise, and he's just trotting along, or getting stuck in a ditch, and he's trying to right himself, you know, or what have you. But yeah, so USAGI and Patriotter, they're kind of, you know, irradiated, you know, super intelligent, fast, strong, you know, highly skilled, highly trained, and Rigger Tortoise, you know, experiment with the military, you know, super strong shell made of all kinds of like top grade military secret technology. So he's got like missiles and stuff that pop out of his shell, and machine guns that pop out of the shell, miniguns. I should correct the record there. You know, he's got spikes that come out, and then, you know, in Volume 3, Patriotter like opens up the spikes that come out, and he puts a chain on them and turns them into one of those little chain balls, like in Kill Bill. That lady with the chain ball starts cutting people down. Great stuff, man. So it's like such fun visual action with adorable little creatures. It's such a fun contrast. I don't know why nobody's thought of this before. Like, honestly, I'm amazed, that Hollywood isn't just like banging down, hammering down, you know, Mark and Tim's door, being like, we need to make a movie of this. Like, man, like, who couldn't get behind this? And plus, like, all the real world nods that they give. You know, the first one, they had that missile scare in Hawaii, and it was just like, you know, in real life, it was just that some idiot accidentally hit the wrong menu option, you know, on their daily checkup routine, and but then they took that little inconsequential, essentially, you know, scare in real life, and they built this whole, you know, secret military story around it with a secret mission for USAGI going into North Korea, because it was around that time, you know, that North Korea and was getting into it with Donald Trump and all that stuff, and people were just like, oh no, is you know, North Korea gonna try to bomb us or whatever, and they were testing missiles and all that, and yeah, it was crazy times, but it was a lot of fun. And then in the second one, they introduced the cryptic, or cryptique, or crypt IQ. Not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure it's cryptic, because then it's got that double meaning. You know, they're kind of secretive and cryptic. You know, we don't really say what we're doing. We just kind of stay into the shadows and all that. But then it's also that they tend to have like a motif, if you will, of cryptids, and if you know what cryptids are, you know, that's like stuff like Sasquatch, you know, the Jersey Devil, Ogopogo, Loch Ness Monster, all those, you know, mythical sort of creatures that may or may not exist, you know. So there's that. Hey, Humble Marty, how you doing? Always a pleasure to see Humble Marty on the stream. Love her to death. As you know, I'm sure you've figured this out by now, and I'm just raving about Black Ops Volume 3 because I just got the digital today. I don't know if you got it, but man, it's been great. I really enjoy reading through it. And I've just been going over Black Ops in general, the omnibus kind of overarching idea of it, and just raving about it in general. I just love it so much. It's just such a fun property. But yeah, like I was saying, that the way that they infuse like the real world kind of stuff into it, just really makes it like just a little more relevant than if it was just some kind of nothing, military and animals. Okay, there we go. That's all it is. But no, they put a lot of thought and a lot of care into this stuff, and it really shows. You can feel it when you're reading it. They're having a lot of fun writing it. They're having a lot of fun drawing it, and that translates to the reader. I have a lot of fun, reading it. It's getting robot-y? I'm not sure why it would be getting robot-y, but I do have that problem every once in a while. It has something to do with my microphone setup. I never know when it's going to happen, but whenever it does, like the only way I can fix it is to completely restart the computer. So I gotta reset up everything. So it's not super doable all the time. I'm actually going to take a moment just to check and see. Microphone setup. I never know when it's going to happen. Okay. Okay, so it's not really that I'm robot-y. I think it's just because of my room and it's echoey. Because you notice I don't got really anything on the walls or anything. I don't have curtains for the window. I got the door closed too, so that probably means even more echo. Yeah, I'm sure it happens to a lot of people. Eventually, and this is probably not going to happen until after I've finished fulfilling all of the Wanpool books. Eventually, I want to, spend a little money and time to, really kind of soundproof a little bit of the room and reduce a lot of that echo so that the quality of the recordings for these streams and any future videos that I decide to make, because I do want to make some, that kind of gets better over time. And I got a couple things ready to order, but I don't want to do that until after Wanpool because I really don't want to add any more delays to the fulfillment. It's already been delayed quite a bit, because of the debt that AM Printing Solutions, who stole our money, forced upon us. And I do want to make sure that is regularly addressed because, they deserve to be called out for that. They robbed us. They stole from us. And so, screw those guys. So Black Ops. I couldn't recommend this book more highly. It's just such a perfect blend of everything you could want in a comic book, and it's handled with such loving care. It's such a love letter to fans too, because all the people that they a lot of the people anyway. I don't know all of them, but a lot of the people that they interact with online and in the community, they put like little Easter eggs throughout the books. It's a little harder with Black Ops because of the military aspect. They don't go out into general society a whole lot, so not as many opportunities for that stuff as in like something like Kamen America or My Hero Macadamia. But they managed to fit a couple in here every once in a while. I saw Garrett on one of the name tags of the soldiers at Cryptic, and that's obviously Doug Garrett that they're kind of referring to, and he did a song for Black Ops. I haven't heard the song yet, but it was a Blitzkrieg Hop. Blitzkrieg Hop. So I have an idea. Yeah, I think anybody who hears the title of the song will probably have some idea of what the song's going to be about or like. But Marty uses a noise-canceling headset to reduce echoes. Yeah, unfortunately, I just don't have that at the moment. Again, it would be something I would need to, put some money into investing into. I just got this right now, and unfortunately, it doesn't work super duper great. Even, like the pickup for it is kind of like you have to like keep turning it until it hits just that right spot, and then it'll work. But really loved Black Ops. Gave you a little bit of history. Yeah, I know you didn't come in until later, but if you watch some of the earlier stuff, Marty, I go over, how I actually was the originator for the good boy here, Commando G. He was a character that I gave to Tim Lim and Mark Pellegrini for Black Ops. And eventually, I'll be showing off in one of my comics a character that Tim made for me. For one of my properties, so it was a bit of a trade. That's good, wholesome stuff. I love that. That can only happen in indie comics. You don't see anything like that happening with DC and Marvel or Image or anything like that. They the mainstream tends to be a lot more antagonistic, whereas the indie sphere, as it were, the indie comics community tends to be a little more friendly, a little more loosey-goosey, a little more willing to collaborate, and that's one thing I really love about indie comics and why I've gotten so into it lately. It's not just because Marvel and DC and all them have been dropping the ball so badly and regularly and frequently and hard. It's not just that. It's that there are genuinely amazing comic properties coming out of the indie comic scene right now. And there's a lot more community. It's a lot more friendly. There's a lot more collaboration. And it just, as a fan, like as a consumer and as a creator, it's just so much more fulfilling to me. I'm losing money on it, because with my first foray into it with Wampool, but I'm happy. It's very fulfilling because I'm fulfilling. I'm getting the comics out there, and that's a great feeling, obviously the next time I'm going to be aiming to actually go the opposite and make some money off of Pineapple Pizza Man's campaign, but. It's like everything in indie comics and with YouTube and all that. It's a process. It is a process. But that's Black Ops 3. Definitely check it out. Super great book. If you haven't already, I'm sure Marty, you already have. But it's. I can't think of a property or a team of creators that is a better what's the word oh man, I hate it when this happens. What's the word I'm looking for? Like a better ambassador for indie comics than the Iconic Comics team. They're just crushing it every time. Super friendly, super helpful, trading characters. Hard to go wrong. So don't miss out on their stuff. If you see their Kickstarters, their Indiegogos, make sure to check them out. They always end up having a little bit of extra content. Not always, but sometimes, and I think more recently they are doing this, that they are adding that little extra bit of incentive, to their Indiegogos and Kickstarters of having a little extra content in the story. Than the than the retail version that they would send out through AP. But yeah, that's it for Black Ops for now. I want to get into a little more of the indie comics that are out there right now. And before I do that, I just wanted to say check out my new T-shirt that I designed for Science Wizard Comics. This is our flagship shirt because it's got all of our flagship characters on it. That is to say Wanpool, Pineapple Pizza Man, and Chickenware from Smack and Kraken. So check out some of these details. Look at that. We got some lightning effects. We've got Wampool with his fancy gun and his maracatanas. We got Pineapple Pizza Man looking so delicious. And we've got Chicken Warrior looking beefy, brawny, and ready to brawl. So check it out. I had a lot of fun drawing this. I think it's going to look great on a t-shirt. I ordered one for myself, so hopefully the next stream, or maybe the stream after that, I'll be wearing that. Because I always try to wear, Science Wizard related stuff. So I got my Ask Me About My Shitpost Agenda t-shirt from the Wampool campaign. I got 2 of those from that. And yeah, so check it out. It's it's also got wall art. You can get prints, you can get posters, canvas. It's got hoodies, tank tops, little onesies if you got little kids, and pillows. The pillows are surprisingly awesome. I got one pillow with the Pineapple Pizza Man. Normally I have it kind of set up in the background there, but I got a pillow there from the TeePublic with the Pineapple Pizza Man. Really nice pillow. Like it's solid stuff, and the print on the pillowcase is really solid. So I highly recommend the pillows, and the t-shirts, and the posters. I think we even have a mug. Do we have a mug? No, I don't think we have the mug, but we have the notebook as well. And I added a few things for the Science Wizard comics. I think it was the logo here. We didn't have mugs before, but I added a mug for that one. And I think also a laptop case. Or no, yeah, laptop case and a phone case for that one as well. So all the Science Wizard, all the Science Wizard stuff on TeePublic right now is on sale. I think most of it, no, all of it. We got a lot of stuff. Upcoming projects like Help Becky Smash and Last Call. Those won't be for a while, but why not jump in early? Say, hey, I was there first. I was repping this stuff before it even came out. We got the Journey of the Wand poster that I did, and part 2 as well. Brand new poster there. I Ain't Afraid of Pineapple Pizza. I mean, I'm not. I love it. And I even got little Archie style Pineapple Pizza Man sticker here. So check out the TeePublic. It's in the chat, and I'll add it to the whatchamacallit, the description as well later on. But yeah, check it out. It's also on our Twitter. It's in the links in the bio, and that is @ScienceComics. But enough of that shilling. Let's check out some of the indie comics, because that's what we're here for. I want to start off with Wrath, Chapter 2, because this one is only 6 hours left. And I honestly don't know a whole lot about this one. I only really know like the absolute bare bones premise, and it's not a lot, to be honest. I don't know that much about it. I like the folks that are behind the comic. They seem like nice fellows. So I thought I should at least give a little bit of a shout out for them here. They're at 90%. 6 hours left, so it's tight. It's tight. Hopefully they get over the line. But I think one thing that would definitely help them with that is to talk about a little more about what it's about, on Twitter, and because I haven't really seen a lot from them. I tried to catch them on a stream with Cody Fernandez, Jack Irons, and the Ironverse stream, and I kind of missed the part where they talked about the story. But I see them online all the time, and I see links for it all the time, but not a whole lot about what it's actually about, beyond that bare bones kind of thing. And that's like this right here. A young man discovers he can physically manifest the dark emotions left from his abusive childhood, and that physical manifestation is like a rage-filled sort of puppy or dog. I'm not sure how it works exactly. Again, I don't know a whole lot, but they've already done issue 1. This is for their second issue for chapter 2. You can get issue 1 and 2 with it. They got a couple different, you know, they got some variants. They got several different tiers that you can go for. Art looks pretty nice. You know, nothing against the art for the most part. Looks pretty decent. So yeah, that's Wrath. Anybody that's here that's watching, what does it say? How many people I got watching? I got 4 watching now, so it's probably yeah. So 3 people, including myself, 4 including myself. But yeah, check out Wrath. They only need a few more people. It looks like to get them over the hump. They're super close, so yeah, I hate to see all that work go to waste. It's always a shame. So definitely check it out. Actually, let's go over the story. Let's see what they say. Wrath tells the story of a young man named Doug who learns he has the ability to manifest the dark emotions of the abusive childhood he thought he left behind. Chapter 2 continues the story as Doug, along with his best friend Nicole, start to piece together the events from Chapter 1. Eventually, the pair reveal the dormant power within Doug and must come to grips with this strange new ability, hoping he is strong enough to control it. Want to catch up on the story, you can get the digital catch-up tier, or add the digital version of Chapter 1 to any other tier you select. Both digital and print are available right now from Wicked, and that's Wicked Publishing. They're responsible for a couple, or at least, you know, they have their label attached to a couple different books. They used to have Machi the Lazy Witch, but I guess things didn't go well with that partnership, and it sounds like they parted ways amicably, I think. I don't know. I only know what I saw from Raven's Twitter, so. But yeah, check it out. Always good to check out a new project. And let's go on to the next one. It's also good to check out an old project. I mean, I wouldn't say it's old, but I think most people know Deputy Rust and Unbreakable Iron Ranger. I mean, even before I was following him on Twitter, you know, I was always seeing his character designs for this comic and all that all over the place on Twitter. So his stuff gets around. People definitely like it, and I would like to see this get funded in particular. Partly because I also backed it, and I want my book. But yeah, he's at well, I mean, this is in Canadian dollars for me because, you know, my IP address and all that always makes everything go to Canadian dollars. I don't like to go by Canadian dollars because the grand majority of the comic book audience seems to be in the United States. Like, that's where the majority of it comes from, which is surprising to me because I never really thought of it as like a uniquely American thing, but the majority seem to be there as far as like American style comic books. But yeah, it's 7,916 Canadian fixed goal. They're at 6,794. So they got like 3 days left and a little under 1,000. It looks like, yeah, a little over $1,000 to get to the goal. And it looks good, man. Like he's got a lot of content. He's got a lot of content in this. I haven't actually read Unbreakable Iron Ranger on the webcomic. I just I have a hard time paying attention to webcomics. It's very difficult for me. So when he said that he was going to be doing a physical Indiegogo for it, I was really excited. I'm just like, yes, that's what I need. I need it in a book. I need it in my hand so I can turn the pages and pay attention to it. I don't know. Scrolling just doesn't do the trick for me. It's gotta have that flip feeling. Even if you're doing it on a touchpad, like an iPad or something like that, it's better. But having it in a book, you know, like Stan Lee always says, like that's the best way to do it. He said it in a different way. But yeah, it looks great, man. Like he's got such a fun style. It's very unique, very kind of you know, lively and anime-ish, and it really gives me sort of a almost like a Astro Boy kind of feel looking at it, you know. But he's got all these fun character designs, like really exaggerated kind of expressions and features, and the ladies in his book, they got hips, they got hips for days. He sure does like the pretty ladies, and who's gonna complain about that? Not I. Not anybody, I don't think. But yeah, Humble Marty, yeah, like she said, Wrath manifests a rage puppy out of the maelstrom of emotions of his abusive childhood. But yeah, that's pretty much all I know about it. I don't know really much about like the actual characters themselves or the circumstances surrounding any of that. But getting back to Unbreakable Iron Ranger, I mean, you gotta love these expressions. Like, they're so cinematically over the top. Kind of reminds me almost of a like the Studio Trigger kind of stuff. Like how they can kind of go from like sort of a very kind of normal sort of anime kind of aesthetic, but then like the action kicks in, like the bad guy shows up, and it just goes wicked over the top. And that's the kind of feeling I get from Unbreakable Iron Ranger. He's gonna have a couple of variant covers printed throughout the book. It collects like the first 3 arcs of Unbreakable Iron Ranger. Adds in a whole bunch of like behind the scenes content, and he even updates a lot of the art for the book too. You know, so he's got like the old stuff on the left here, new stuff on the right. And it's not huge differences, but like, yeah, it makes it's just a little nice little bit of extra polish for it for people who help support the physical version, and you gotta love that, you gotta respect that. So I like what he's doing. I think the book looks great. I think it looks fun, action packed, lots of personality, very cinematic. And even though he's been doing this on the webcomic for a while, like he said, like he's always envisioned it for print. So much respect and much love to that project. I hope more people check it out. And next up, of course, there's Thomas Moria, and this is from a guy who just kind of came on the scene not too long ago. But oh boy, did he come on the scene with like a bang, because his art is looking heckin' fantastic. Like, this is some great stuff. It's got a lot of detail. You know, the colors are great. It's got all these like demons and monsters that just look really fun, and it's Thomas Moria, Wizard for Hire. So it's got a very kind of Doctor Strange kind of feeling to it, a little bit of Constantine vibe mixed in. So I'm digging it. Like, and I've been interacting with him a little bit on the Twitters there, and seems like a real friendly creator, hard working, really excited about this project. You know, and he's been one of those salt of the earth types. So check it out if you can. He's already funded, so I mean, it's not as urgent as, you know, Unbreakable Iron Ranger, which is 3 days left and a little over 1,000 to go, or Wrath, which only has 6 hours left, and they need somewhere around like $200 or $300. But man, it looks good. It looks real good. He's got some good tiers. He's got a poster. Ooh, what's this? The Client. You can be a character in the book. Ah, man. I wish I saw that earlier. I would have probably gotten that. I've done that a few times. But yeah, he's got double pack, 2 copies and 2 posters. Not too shabby. Hellish poster, 1 poster, 1 book. Oh yeah, poster A, poster B. 2 books. Wizard pack, 2 books signed, looks like. And just a single graphic novel. It's pretty tight. That's some tight art. It's good. I like it. I wanna get it myself. I thank God it's already funded, and hopefully it'll stay on the store for a little while. Because I backed a couple projects recently already, so I don't got a whole lot of funds left over. Plus, I bought myself a T-shirt from the Science Wizard TeePublic store. Specifically, I got the Science Wizard flagship T-shirt, medium male, and it's on sale right now. Go get yourself a T-shirt. And the other thing I got was I got the Science Wizard logo here, and I got that in a tank top. Because I exercise. I actually just exercised my shoulders just before the stream. Trying to get into that Black Hops physique so I can cosplay as the trainer or the handler for Command Dog. That's my goal. I want to do that. I want to do that someday. And who knows? Maybe if I ever get a dog, I'll get the same kind of dog. Because I do want a dog. I really want a dog. But yeah, I love the t-shirt. The tank tops from TeePublic are really nice. They're actually some of the nicest tank tops I've had. I've got the 2 tank tops from there. I got a Revengers one and a Wampool one, and they just fit really nice. I really like them. And so I need more tank tops. I've only got the 2, so those only go so far when you're working out. So I'm getting more. I got this one. I'll probably get some more as I go. Plus, I always gotta have something Science Wizard related to wear for the streams. So I gotta keep this TeePublic store stocked with fresh new designs. So check it out. Buy yourself a t-shirt. And finally, last but not least, epic bearded wizard time. Hell yes. I mean, when can you go wrong? But last up, I want to talk about the Abductables 2. They're not in funding just yet on Indiegogo. Right now, they've just got the sign up, the newsletter page. And if you sign up for the newsletter page, and you back the book, then when you do, you get an exclusive free trading card. So there's always benefits to signing up early with these things. Always sign up for those those newsletters. Get in early. Sometimes they'll even have people will even do like the God, I sound like Trudeau with all these umming and ahhing. But sometimes they'll even have like special tiers for people that do the newsletter. It'll give you like a little reduced price or a little extra bonus thing. I guess with these guys, they're doing the free trading card. And man, I really loved the Abductables. Last year, I think it was that they did the first one. Might have been the year before that. I can't remember exactly when the date was. But it was such a fantastic book. It was so much fun. It was violent, and it was just brutal, and it was the best of Ebi Canalis. I can tell you that. And Michael Derrick, of course, who is also the writer for this. And they just, those two guys, like, they meshed together so well. Like water and more water. So you just got a whole lot of fun, human on alien carnage, and I loved it. It was one of my favorite indie comics at the time. So I'm really looking forward to Abductables 2. I hope you are too. And I think it's going to be just as fun as the first one. I mean, it's just got such a irreverent sort of like just like balls to the wall. Like let's just go for gold, like F it, just mayhem, and then some. And Pierluigi Caputo has just joined the chat here. You're coming in pretty close to the end, Pierre. Pierluigi. I don't know. Is it like Pierre and then Luigi's your middle name, or is it like the first name is Pierluigi? I've never really thought about that, but yeah, that's a question I have now. But welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining me. My good friend, he does Azurina. That's his original character. He's working on a game for her. He's putting together a demo for it right now. So when that drops, definitely give him a look as well. Lovely Xeno Butcher. That is exactly what this book is all about with Deductibles. But yeah, check out Azarina when he's got a demo ready to go, and yeah, he's working hard, man. He goes through some things, but he keeps chugging along. So much respect to Pierre. Pierre Luigi. He just corrected me. All united, Pierre Luigi. It's one thing. One thing. Now we know. And knowing is half the battle. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for me. Again, Pierre, you just come in at the end, but today I was just. I mean, if you want to go back and watch the beginning of the stream after all said and done, go ahead and do that. I talked a lot about Black Hops, raved about it really. Talked a little bit about the connections with Black Hops and myself. And Wanpool and some of the crossing over and trading and stuff that we've done with various characters between us as creators, and and then we just went over some of the different indie comics that are available right now. We got Wrath. They got 6 hours left, and they got about $300 to go. So hopefully they're able to hit it. Fingers crossed. Best of luck to you guys. We got Unbreakable Iron Ranger. He's got 3 days left. And just a little over $1,000 to go. I'm really looking forward to this project. I hope everyone else is too. I'd like to see it get funded because Deputy Russ is a solid dude, and he works hard, and his stuff looks good. And then the other one that we were, oopsie we were talking about was Thomas Moria by Selena Hernandez. Guy who just came on the scene, really kicking butt. Comes out of the gate strong with a really good looking book. And then the Abductables from Michael Derrick and Ibai Canales. They always do good work. The first one was great. Can't wait for the second. I hope everyone else is too. I'm signed up for this newsletter. Hopefully everybody else is too. And hopefully I'll have a newsletter of my own going out in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully. For Pineapple Pizza Man. So thank you guys, the both of you, Humble Marty, Pierre Luigi, and the other person or two who dropped in at one point or the other, who's been very quiet and silent in the chat. Whoever you are, mystery person, thank you as well for coming out to the stream and listening to me rant and rave about the latest in indie comics. Check out our TeePublic store. Buy yourself some merch. Pierre, I bet you'd look so good in this beautiful Science Wizard comic flagship character t-shirt. You'd look so good. Marty, I bet you'd look pretty good too. Check out our shirts, guys. And you guys both know me. I'm on Twitter at Josh Animator. And then we got Science Wizard Comics. We are on Twitter as well, at Science Comics. And that's about it for me. For tonight, just a fun little stream talking about indie comics. That's what we're here for. Thank you guys again. Love you guys. Always a pleasure having you guys on the stream, in the chat. And